Hi Leute, willkommen zurück. Hier ist wieder eure Alice im Zockerland. Zurück mit Mass Effect auf der Nexus. Ich soll mich mit ein paar Leuten unterhalten. Eine weibliche Krogan. Ich find's
My
großartig
crew's
im
working on
Übrigen.
it. We've moved the
Im
op center to the
Übrigen.
top of our priority list. There you are. Hope the others haven't been giving you a hard time. There's a lot that needs doing. At least with the Hyperion hooked up and feeding us power, my team and I can get more work done.
What kind of work do you do as superintendent?
I was part of the team that originally designed and built this place. I keep the station functional, or as functional as possible, considering.
I noticed there aren't a lot of Krogan around.
You haven't spoken to number 8 yet, have you?
Number 8?
Tan. Ask him why most of my people left. He'll have opinions. I can tell you this much. When the mutiny happened, a deal was made. My clan were supposed to settle matters and, in return, get more say in the initiative.
Did the deal go through?
The clan held up their part, but Tan had a meltdown when he found out we wanted more say around here. Then Addison's assistant, Spender, pretended he never made the deal in the first place. It was a mess, but I don't blame my people for walking out. We're done being used.
With your clan gone, why did you stay?
It's complicated. The station and my clan both need me here.
Why do you call Tan 8?
Because he was 8th in line to take over the Andromeda initiative. I like to remind him of that now and then. Keep him humble.
Klingt gut. Von dem, was ich bis jetzt gehört habe, mag ich ihn nicht so.
What sort of problems have you seen on the Nexus?
Situation's gone to shit pretty much sums it up. There's arcs missing. Some idiots tried to mutiny and take over, then more idiots offended my clan, so they left. And to top it all off, the founder of the initiative, Gian Garson, was killed.
What happened to Gian Garson?
Killed in the Scourge disaster. Her and a bunch of the other leaders. Tan might know more.
I thought the Hyperion had it bad when we arrived. Anything else?
The outposts aren't happening because we don't have resources or people, so Addison's more uptight than ever. And let's not forget how badly the station was damaged on arrival. But that's a detail, according to some. My team and I are repairing what we can. If we don't get materials soon, things will go downhill. Fast.
When we left the Milky Way, the Krogan were still dealing with the genophage.
Right. The genophage. A little gift to our people from the Solarians thousands of years ago. That sterility virus they infected us with left most of our children stillborn. Only 1 in 1,000 survive.
No wonder your people have such a problem with Solarians.
Some wounds never heal. Not that my ancestors didn't provoke it. They did try to conquer the galaxy. The Solarians were forced to respond. And it's not fair to blame it all on them either. The Solarians developed the virus, but it was the Turians who deployed it. I'm hoping that's all in the past. Plenty of blame to go around, but Andromeda is about new beginnings. My people need that more than most.
What about the Krogan here in Andromeda?
There's no cure for it. But my clan was starting to show mutation against the virus. A natural defense. During the trip to get here, Krogan underwent gene therapies to enhance the mutation while we were in stasis.
So you used those 600 years to your advantage. Gave the adaptation more time to develop.
Yeah. It's still early, but I think we made a dent. Our scientists say we've improved viability to almost 4%, which is a lot better than what we had. Beyond all the statistics, it means more Krogan children will live. It's the only way my people have a future out here.
Nothing more for now.
Try not to die out there.
Ich mag sie.
Please be advised that Hyperion docking procedures are now complete.
Was sind denn das da oben noch für Symbole? Die viereckigen... Ich guck mal weiter.
More power from the Hyperion.
Was ist das?
Repair requests are currently on hold until power coupling is complete.
Wer bist du? Was? Achso, einkaufen. Waffenhändler.
Tempest crew
Weapons and
report to the
stuff.
docking area.
I got you covered. Use the console to take a look through what I got. It'd be a lot easier if I weren't missing half my stock.
Ouch. Why am I paying for these?
Half the supplies are inaccessible, what with how we crash-landed and all. And I have to trade with the crooks out there for the rest, so...
Wow. Das sieht... Okay, links sind meine Objekte. Rechts Händlerobjekte. Gesamtgewinn. Ihre Credits 197. Ja, da kann ich mir nicht allzu viel von kaufen. N7 Crusader. Sturmgewehr. Okay. Sieht irgendwie nicht aus wie eine Schrotflinte. Das könnte ich verkaufen. Oh, das ist schon ein bisschen... Naja, gut, es kostet aber auch alles nicht. Also das bringt mir nicht so viel ein. Wir reden später nochmal.
Tempest crew should report to the docking area at once.
Kommandozentrale. Überwachungsaufnahmen. Gucke ich mir gleich mal an. Lass mal gucken.
Debarkation procedures for Hyperion are on hold.
Öffnen. Klaue ich einfach alles. Oha. Schadensbegrenzung an Tyrion Kandros von Drun Tan. Kandros, wie Sie wissen, gab es während Ihrer Abwesenheit eine Meuterei auf der Nexus. Die Ereignisse sind rasant eskaliert, aber wir glauben, dass es mit einem Feuer in den Hydrokulturen und einem Diebstahl in der Waffenkammer anfing. Es gab unterschiedliche Beweggründe für den Aufstand. Herdenverhalten spielte sicher eine Rolle, doch von Seiten der Anführer, darunter ihrer Vorgängerin, der ehemaligen Sicherheitsdirektorin Sloan Kelly, war es ein bewusster Verrat. Es gab einige oberflächliche Versuche, die Schäden zu katalogisieren und zu beheben, die Sloans Leute während des Aufstandes verursacht haben. Gestohlene Vorräte, zerstörte Ausrüstung, solche Dinge, aber ich hatte gehofft, dass die Miliz einen offiziellen Bericht anfertigen kann. Wenn wir überleben wollen, müssen wir wissen, womit wir noch arbeiten können. Andromeda 10 von Tyrion Kandros, Direktor 10. Meine Leute müssen sich darauf konzentrieren, die Station zu verteidigen. Sie können keine Inventur machen. Wenn sie wirklich auf die Überwachung durch die Miliz angewiesen sind, lasse ich Sergeant Hells einen Blick darauf werfen. Im Übrigen war ich der Meinung, dass die Exilanten eher Calix-Leute waren als Sloans. War er es nicht, der die Meuterei angezettelt hat? Calix Cavernes hat vielleicht damit angefangen, aber Sloan hat unmissverständlich klargestellt, wo ihre Loyalität liegt. Ich weiß, dass sie eine hohe Meinung von ihnen hatte, aber ich hoffe, sie können bei dieser Aufgabe objektiv bleiben. Sloan Kelly ist nicht die, für die ich sie gehalten habe. Es wird keine Probleme geben. Gut, dann haben sie sicher nichts dagegen, ein kleines und diskretes Aufklärungsteam loszuschicken, um herauszufinden, wo Sloan und die Exilanten sich aufhalten. Wenn sie die kolonialen Systeme zum Laufen gebracht haben, will ich keine Überraschung erleben. Okay.
Report to the docking area at once.
But the planet was toxic. What if they store oxygen in porous tissue, like Quiro's rockfish?
I still reckon they have breather gear stowed in that armor.
Perhaps
Ach so, doch, ich kann mit dir reden.
You must be the Pathfinder. Wonderful. You and your Sam are exactly what we need.
Thanks, Mr.
Professor Herrick, my colleagues and I will work with your Sam and the data you gather to solve Andromeda's scientific mysteries.
What fields do you study?
Eric's into life sciences. I do planetary geology, oceanography, rocks and runoff. Aradana's the space and math whiz.
Not that we've had much to study, with everyone cooped up for 14 months.
But your data on the Scourge flows like poetry. Now we can better advise on repairing the damage it caused.
And maybe Addison will give us a real workspace. Who can think with all this racket?
Pathfinder, we've had some trouble.
Anything I can help with?
Perhaps. I discharged an away team to get readings from a section of the Scourge that was behaving anomalously. They haven't reported in for some time, and sensors can't locate their shuttle. I sent them out there. Good, dedicated people. I fear what might have happened to them.
Your work is important. Don't lose sight of that. When I'm out there, I'll see if I can find them.
Their friends and family will want to know what's happened, and I need to know.
Okay, das verschollene Wissenschaftsschiff hin. Ja, mache ich dann mal irgendwann, wenn ich kann.
Hi, Pathfinder. Want to hit some rocks for science?
Ja?
Absolutely. What do you need?
Sam and I used your scans and made a VI for geophysics surveys. Beta builds on the console there. Test it out in the field, and I'll wrangle you a consultant's bonus from Director Addison. How's that sound?
Gut. Welches Terminal? Das da, das sieht gut aus. Nein. Doch, Beta-Version. VI. Patch Notes. Interface mit Universalwerkzeug überarbeitet. Stimmerkennung reagiert jetzt auf Chemie. Chemie und Chemie. Okay. Was steht denn da auf Englisch dann? Das wäre jetzt mal interessant zu wissen. Weil da sagst du doch nur Chemistry. Sagt doch keiner Chemistry im Englischen. Okay, 16 Mineralien scannen. Mach ich dann, wenn ich kann. Bist du? Ja, du bist Tarek. Mit dir habe ich schon gesprochen. Du willst nicht mit mir reden. Ah, hi Liam. Milizbüro. Milizbüro.
Notice the handle there. Too small for listeners.
Hi, Future Hubby.
I know that look. The others bent your ear, did they?
Something like that?
You get used to it. Just focus on being a Pathfinder. Can't argue with results, though they'll try. Anyway, welcome to Militia HQ. Excuse the mess. This office fields militia work, Nexus security, and looking for the Turian Ark.
What's the word on the Turian Ark?
Scattered readings. Some indicate the Natanus was destroyed, others that people are alive. Who knows? If you need anything, come see me, even if it's just a vent.
What do you know about the enemies we've encountered? The Ket.
We usually see them on worlds with those alien structures. The Ket don't take kindly to anyone studying them. Not sure why. They don't talk to us. Every time we cross paths, there's a fight or they take prisoners.
Why? What do they want?
No one knows. But I've seen their weaponry and what they do to those prisoners. I want them a long, long way from the Nexus.
What brought you out here to Andromeda?
I was tired of being the good one.
The good one?
The Kandros family is old military. There were expectations, you know? Then my sister became a sculptor and cousin Irene went pirate on Omega. Everyone was proud that I stayed in service. But I kept wondering, when do I get my adventure? Jen Garson's dream was so grand, so gutsy, I had to be part of it.
You talk like you weren't part of the leadership. How did you end up commanding the militia?
I was escorting a prospecting team on some moon when those Ket found us. They penned us like cattle for experiments. I managed to get loose, snatched a gun, and freed the others. By the time we killed the bastards and headed back to war in the Nexus, everyone looked at me like I was in charge.
That sounds familiar.
The militia grew from there. Funny, once the heat is on, all kinds of people rise to the top.
Are the other Turians managing okay?
So-so. We're not good at sitting around in a crisis. Service before self gets drummed into us at boot camp. That's probably why so many of us are in the militia. We like to earn our citizenship, whatever galaxy we're in. But it's hard to focus with our arc missing.
It's rough out there. I might need backup if you can spare the people.
I have strike teams specializing in assault and extraction. If you need serious firepower, my Apex teams have you covered. In fact, I could give you authority to dispatch them. It'll cut down their response time.
Thank you.
Our current ops are on the terminal. See if there's anything that could use a shot where it counts.
Bye, Kandros. Duty calls.
You and me both, Pathfinder.
Ich komm wieder.
This console reports on the militia's current strike team missions, Pathfinder. Please speak with Tyrann Kandros for authorization to participate.
Are currently on hold until power coupling is complete.
Was auf den Nexus oder was? Was? Was war das? Das ging gerade viel zu schnell. Was? Was? Ich habe zwei Hauptmissionen jetzt. Auf der Nexus oder über die... Nochmal? Zusätzliche Aufgaben. Okay, ja gut, das sind die. Rede ich nochmal mit dir.
That's the console for our strike teams.
What are they?
Assault and extraction squads. When we need the best, I have Apex. Combat experts who've signed up to defend us. Since you have a front row view of the cluster, I can give you authority to dispatch them.
I'll deploy your people carefully, Kandros.
Appreciate that, Ryder. But trust me, Apex can handle themselves. Authorization complete. Good luck out there.
Okay. Oh Gott, oh Gott, oh Gott, oh Gott. Daten aus Totenbrief, Einsatzteams. Einsatzteams können entsandt werden, um Missionen zur Unterstützung der Andromeda-Initiative zu erfüllen. Im Erfolgsfall erhalten sie EP und Ryder erhält eine Belohnung. Scheitern sie, erhalten sie nur wenige EP und... Ja, immerhin, ne? Apex ist das beste Elite-Einsatzteam im Cluster und zuständig für kritische Missionen. Wählen Sie eine Mission und drücken Sie X, um Apex loszuschicken. Ihr Fortschritt wird vor dem Start des Multiplayer-Modus... Was? Ach so! Was ist der Multiplayer? Was? Spielen Sie Apex-Missionen im Multiplayer mit Freunden. Schwierigkeitsgrad der Mission. Ablauf in 2 Stunden. Okay. Nö. Kommt da noch was nach? Nein. Also...
What am I going to
Nexus.
do?
Mit dir soll ich reden.
It's not right. It's not fair.
What's wrong?
Oh my, you're... So it's true. A Pathfinder has found us. There's hope at last. Maybe you could help. You're impartial. This whole thing has gotten so political. My husband, he's locked up and slated for exile for a crime he didn't commit.
What exactly was he convicted of?
They don't exile you for petty theft. Well, maybe this bunch would. They say it's murder. They're calling him the first murderer in Andromeda, but the dead man was his friend. He wouldn't have... There are witnesses and evidence, but it's all circumstantial. At worst, it was an accident. His name is Nilken Rensis. He could give you the details if you were willing to speak with him. Please.
Ja.
I'd be happy to.
Oh, thank you. I'm sure the jailer will allow you a visit. Please, tell Nilken I love him.
Warte mal, war hier nicht noch einer, mit dem ich sprechen konnte? Ach ja, Liam war hier. Schon mal, ich habe die völlig vergessen.
Pathfinder, no time for our beer yet. This place is a mess. Security is... let's call it strained.
I can believe it. Nexus is running on empty.
Not just that. A lot of the exiles were security. Everyone was trained and armed for Frontier. We know Ket are dangerous, and now we have to worry about our people too. No idea where they went, but they left mad.
They were frustrated. If they just wanted to kill, they could have fought to the last here.
Apparently we're the big hope for everyone. Not the Hyperion showing. Just us. I'm with you. It's just... a lot.
As long as the Nexus is here, as long as we're here, we have a job to do.
Double down crisis mode. I can do that. We can do that. Ready and willing, Pathfinder.
Ja.
Disembarkation procedures for Hyperion.
Oh, hier komme ich nicht weiter. Das ist aber doof.
Further instructions.
Da hinten war ich schon. Tür, das ist richtig.
This is the planet where we landed. Habitat 7. It wasn't even close to livable.
That's been true of every world we found. Ryder, we were discussing your next expedition.
I thought I didn't measure up as Pathfinder.
Director Addison keeps her own counsel. I keep mine.
And when you disagree?
I oversee the entire initiative, and I have decided to give you a chance to prove yourself. To that end, the Scourge dealt us a serious blow. Whatever it is, our scientists theorize it's not natural.
An artificial energy cloud?
It wasn't here when we left the Milky Way, yet it rendered all the Golden Worlds unlivable. Then there's the aliens you ran into, the Ket. They're obsessed with alien structures we found scattered around the cluster. They'll do anything to prevent others from accessing them. It seems murder isn't exclusive to the Milky Way. And now the challenge is to settle a world in spite of all that. This one here. Eos.
How?
You need to increase the viability of the planet so we can establish an outpost. Then we can bring more colonists out of stasis. The more colonists we have, the more resources we can gather to support the Nexus. Everything depends on it. There are 6 worlds we hope to settle.
Okay, but you said every planet you found is unlivable, so how do I...
A good Pathfinder would relish the challenge of solving it.
Right. I think I should go check on things.
And if I fail, I guess it's no sweat off your back, right? You'll just look for another Pathfinder?
Placing bets on people is part of my job. Some of them pay off. Others...
Just point me to my ship and I'll be out of here.
They're prepping it now in the docking bay. The coordinates for Eos will be in the computer. And when you have a moment, we should discuss the missing arcs.
I was wondering about that.
Something wrong?
Ryder, please see me and Sam load on the Hyperion. Your implant needs attention, and we need to discuss a confidential matter.
No. I'm fine.
Ryder, you have my condolences for your father.
I appreciate it.
I didn't know him very well, although I understand he played a key role in planning the initiative. I'm sure he'd be concerned that we still have several arcs missing.
Any idea where they went?
Nothing certain, but tens of thousands of colonists are unaccounted for. It paints the initiative in an unflattering light. Did you have some other business?
Any more information you can give me on the missing arcs?
No, and that is the distressing part. The Asari, Turian, and Solarian arcs are completely unaccounted for. If they had the same problems with the Scourge that we did, I fear the worst. Should you find any clues, please investigate. Without the other arcs, the promise of the initiative can never be fulfilled.
Are there any other arcs we should expect?
We had hoped Quarians would be part of the first wave, but before departure in 2185, we got word they had technical problems with their ship. It seems they're also bringing along Drell, Hanar, and other species as well. Managing all of their biological needs caused complications. We won't see them for some time to come.
Sounds like the Nexus has had a rough time of it.
Publicly, I would say we're more than up for the challenge. Privately, I can tell you, it's been a disaster. The Scourge killed hundreds, many of them our senior leadership. Even the founder of the initiative, Gian Garson, is dead.
How did Jean Garson die?
With the rest of the leadership, when the Nexus hit Scourge, a large wing of stasis pods was destroyed. They were killed instantly. These people traveled 600 years and died before they even woke up. Jean Garson never glimpsed Helios. She never saw her vision realized.
Das ist echt richtig kacke.
Kandros mentioned something about hitting the Scourge. How did it play out?
Criminal elements took advantage of the emergency and preyed on people's fears. An uprising followed. We had no choice but to turn to the Krogan to deal with them. They crushed the mutiny and the criminals were banished. Exiles, we call them. I doubt we've heard the last of them. They're led by an outlaw, Sloane Kelly. She used to be one of ours.
Who is this Sloane Kelly?
She was head of security on the Nexus. She opposed the uprising at first, but eventually turned traitor and joined them. Misguided sympathy for the plight of the common citizen? Nonsense. They posed a direct threat to our existence.
There don't seem to be many Krogan around.
Good riddance. The Krogan demanded a greater say in political matters. The last place you want them involved. They're muscle, nothing more. Good for fighting and lifting heavy objects. When they didn't get what they wanted, they left.
Why don't you like the Krogan?
It's common knowledge that they are a violent, ignorant species. Long ago, they waged nuclear war on one another. Their planet was decimated. My people tried to uplift them, but the Krogan could never tame their worst instincts. What if they bring their tempers to Andromeda? We'll all be dead.
Bisschen judgy, hm?
What more can you tell me about the initiative?
It represents the greatest migration ever attempted. No one had ventured beyond the Milky Way before. We've all left home in search of freedom, fortune, perhaps a new beginning. We are the bravest souls each species has to offer. I hope the Nexus will serve as the seat of government for us all.
What do you know about the early days of the initiative?
As most everyone knows, Gian Garson's vision made it happen. She was an entrepreneur on Earth. Wealthy. Young for a human. Garson had the idea for the initiative in the early 2170s, I believe. Many thought leaving the Milky Way was impossible. But she persevered. And as with most great ideas, the doubters were wrong.
Why do you think most people came?
There are thousands of reasons. One for every colonist here. What does any pilgrim seek? Usually, happiness. Finding the thing that eludes them. The thing to fulfill them. While we cannot promise they will find it, we can facilitate the search.
It looks like a melting pot around here.
The Nexus is home to several initiative species. Many came ahead of the Arcs. The hope is that this station will one day serve as the governing body in Andromeda. Though I'm not sure what they were thinking, lumping Krogan into the mix. As a Solarian, my kind tend to have a low opinion of them. Nothing I've seen here has changed that.
Nein? Wirklich?
As director of the initiative, are you in charge around here or what?
If the others would allow me, they don't see me as the rightful successor.
So how does anything get done?
In theory, Kesh handles the Nexus's physical operations, Kandros runs the militia, and Addison manages colonial affairs. I oversee all of it. In practice, we argue, debate, and yell at each other until a decision is made. If we're lucky. It is maddening.
What's their problem with you?
I am not Gian Garson. Our founder was charismatic, eccentric, larger than life. Traits I cannot hope to mimic. She and her inner circle perished in the Scourge, some at the hands of the Exiles, some never made it out of stasis. I was deputy assistant for revenue management. Then all 7 leaders above me died. I was next in line for the role.
Du hast sie doch alle umgebracht.
So, you're an accountant?
Don't let that fool you. We are all capable of more than we know. When I was young, I was fascinated by the idea of exploring space. Life had its detours, and I went a different direction. Then I heard about the initiative, and saw my chance to try the path not taken. While I may not be setting foot on new worlds, my authority can ensure that you do.
Right. Sorry. What do I need to consider in making a planet viable?
Assuming the planet supports life, an outpost is critical. People like a roof over their heads, and you'll want to eliminate any hostile threats. Whether that's the cat, or other terrors lurking in Helios, colonists being murdered on sight can be discouraging. Also, scouting and mapping terrain is a priority for any Pathfinder. And don't forget forward stations. You'll want those.
What can you tell me about forward stations?
I was afraid you'd ask. It's mostly what the engineers tell me. A forward station allows mining, equipment repairs, and resupply for field teams. I mean, who wouldn't want that? But seeing as how every colonization effort has failed, it's just theory at the moment. You get to test it out, Ryder.
That's all. Thanks for your time.
I'm happy to help. You will find our futures depend on each other's success. Good luck.
Ey, ich hab schon wieder überzogen. Aber ich wollte das Gespräch gerade noch zu Ende führen. Und nicht mittendrin abbrechen. Okay, dann muss ich jetzt nicht zurück zur Hyperion, aber ich habe, glaube ich, hier noch wenigstens eine Nebenaufgabe zu erledigen. Okay. Ups. Hä? Ich wollte eigentlich dahin. Okay. Naja. Sorry fürs Überziehen. Es ist einfach so interessant. Ich find's gut bis jetzt. Ich find's wirklich gut. Ich hoffe, ihr auch einigermaßen. Und dann sehe ich euch beim nächsten Mal. Dankeschön. Bis dann. Tschüss.